Now that Learning Tools has been successfully installed into OneNote Desktop, our 2016 version, it's very simple to use. So you are currently looking at one of my class notebooks, and I'm on my social studies section that has a reading passage in here that I want my students to read. For those students who would benefit from having text read back to them, this is a great tool that these students can use so that they can hear back any of the text that is on any page on any part of their OneNote notebook. So to get started, all you're going to need to have the students do is click on the Learning Tools toolbar at the top. And there's not a lot of options within Learning Tools to really play around with when you're first looking at the toolbar. When I go ahead and click on Immersive Reader, you're going to notice that the screen is going to change. This is not going to alter the original document in OneNote. It is just taking all the text that's on the screen, whether it's been typed directly into OneNote or it was inserted as a document, which you saw on my screen below. So this is what the Immersive Reader looks like. It's going to enlarge all of the text. It's going to space out the words a little bit, and you won't see as much text on the screen, which can be very helpful to students. You can see this first word over here is highlighted with a box, and that indicates where the Immersive Reader is going to start to read once you click play. So it's very easy to get started. All you have to do is come down to the bottom here and click play. And this will continue to read throughout the entire document until I press stop on it. And you can see if I press play again, it landed on the last word that it had spoken, and it will just continue to read. If you need to go back, you can just scroll back and you can click on this word over here, and it will start to read from the beginning again. You'll also notice one of the features of this tool is that if you click on any word that is in your text, if there is a picture dictionary word to represent, image to represent the word you clicked on, it will show it to you. Okay, some of the other features that you have in Learning Tools. By default, you can hear that it is a male voice. It picks a speed that it thinks is doable for the student, but if that needs to be adjusted, if you come over here next to the play button and click Voice Settings, you can change the voice from male to female, or you can adjust the speed, and you can see here it's on a slightly slower speed, but if you want it to go a little bit faster, you can click that as well. If to get out of this, we just click on this tool. The other tools or the other options that you have available to you are reading preferences. And this can be a very helpful one for students who need to have a little bit more line focus when this is being read to them. So if you click on line focus over here and I click on one line, you can see that this is only going to be read, it's going to be read the same way, but it's only going to highlight one line at a time as it's being read. So if somebody is struggling with following along, this might be a good tool. You can adjust the line focus if you need to, or you can turn it off altogether. If you turn it back on, there's some other options that you can play around with. Picture Dictionary, as you saw when we clicked on the word directions, is automatically on by default. It can be turned off. I'm going to click back off of line focus and turn that off. Another feature you have here available is grammar options. So if you want the students to be able to highlight certain parts of speech, you can turn those on as well. So if I click on nouns, it's going to highlight all the nouns in this purple color. And again, this does nothing to the original document. This is just when you are in Immersive Reader format. So any of these can be turned on if need be, and they can be turned off as well. You also have syllables if that's something that you want to play around with, but by default, again, all of these things are off. If we click on text preferences, you have some other options over here. By default, when you click on Immersive Reader, the screen will be, the background will be white. If that is too bright for any of your students, you have some other options in terms of the background color, and that's what they mean by themes, if you want something a little bit easier on the eyes. You can click on more colors. There's a few more colors down here. There's only 3 different options when it comes to font, so if the student prefers a different font style, that also can be changed. Increased spacing was on by default. If you don't want that on, you can turn that off, but this is usually helpful to have a little bit more space between the words. And then you also have the option to change the text size. But again, the default is what you see. So those are a few other options that you can change in Immersive Reader. But beyond that, really, it's just a matter of pressing play in order to hear the text read to you and then to exit out of Immersive Reader once they're done having this read to them. This little arrow over here will exit out of Immersive Reader, and you can see we are back to the traditional looking OneNote screen. Nothing has been changed to the original document. And that's pretty much it.